Hello class, I'm here to cover problem 11 that I assigned for your homework this week as well. I did not ask for problem 11A, 11C. I'm gonna go over so you can just see it, but you're not required to complete that part. Um, if you remember, chapter 15, problem 1, 2, and 3. It's going over the naive forecast method and it's going over the average of all historical uh, data and where it's asking you to actually calculate all three, the mean absolute error, the mean square error, and the mean absolute percent error, and make a decision between these two forecasting methods, which one you believe to be better. And we concluded that since these values, these percentages are closer to zero, then we'll be using the average of all historical data. As I have mentioned in your discussion, there is not a specific forecast method that we could say this is the best one. It really depends what you're evaluating, what you're looking for, what kind of data you have. So it could really change, including for the exponential smoothing. We can choose here a point 0.2, I can choose a point 0.35, I can choose a point 0.1, or I can do a 3 month moving average, or I can do a 5, for example. So it really depends what kind of information you're trying to cover. Right here is talking about the company, the Hawkins company, and the monthly percentages of all shipments receive on time over the past 12 months are right here, are listed as this. Okay, so I have just arranged it in a table format. One thing that I have to make it clear, please note that these tables are not related. I put it all together, but after I did that, I noticed that I should have actually split them. I just want to make clear that these are two different forecast methods. Um, I have put in the same spreadsheet, but they are not the same thing. Okay, so let me see if I can. I don't know why it's not taking the top right there. Here we go. This is good enough. I just want to make it clear that these are two different forecasting methods. Even to get better, what you could do is to hide, for example, this forecast first, do this part, and then hide this part and do this forecast method, so you don't get confused. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm getting rid of the exponential is moving for now. Is moving for now. We're just gonna do the moving average and then we're gonna go back. So the 11A says construct a time series plot. You're not asked to do that, but let's go ahead just by curiosity and I'm gonna show you how to do that. All you have to do is to select both columns right here and then you go and insert and then you come over here to the scatter, but let's do a scatter with lines. Okay, or you can do it like this. If you want a straight lines, that's fine too. So let's choose that one. There is your graph. Okay, all this point, each point, if you notice right here at 80, right here, and then at 1. To make it better, what you could do is, since it did start at 80, if you want to be very precise, you can click the right button right here on this column on the y-axis and going format axis you can change these values right here. So let's put it starts at 80. See how it changed already, and it ends at, what is the highest right here, 85. Okay, you know what, I'm gonna put exactly 85. There you go. Now over here it starts at, click the right button on the horizontal and going in format axis, it changes. You don't need to go here and click in here. So let's put 1 for the minimum, right? And then 12 for the maximum. I want to make it very clear for you. Here you go. And then you can just close this. Okay, so if you would complete 11A and construct the time series plot, this is what it would look like. I mean, you could go ahead and change the title. One thing that I went over, MSC 3370, in the script, it is statistics. It's very important that you label your axis. Otherwise, if I just show you this, really doesn't mean anything. You don't know what is this referring to. I don't like that this actually changed to halves. I wanted my major to be 1. I can change that. All I did, I clicked the right button here and I changed the major to 1. Okay, you can make any modifications. My point with all this is if asking you what type of pattern exists in the data, just looking here, well, it seems that the first 2 time series values right here, they might be indicated that the time series has shifted to a new higher level. Do you see here how it spiked to a higher level? But after that, if you would do an average of all the other points, pretty much you're gonna see that overall the time series plot exhibits a horizontal pattern. So another thing you can do is to click in any little corners, because since it doesn't have points, go right here and add a trend line. Okay, this gives you an idea that pretty much most of the points will cross our linear right here. Okay, so we could say that yes, it's gonna have variations, but mainly it could be considered a horizontal pattern. Okay, so you don't need to answer that. I just wanna show you. And it says what is the forecast for the next month, which is really, I believe, is on 11C. We can go ahead and delete it here. If you would do, trying to see, yes, that's right. Just want to make sure that I assign the correct ones. Here we go. So now that we finished with the plot, we can just move this plot somewhere else. You're not gonna need it. And let's start with the ones that we really want. I, I'm gonna even actually delete it. I want to have enough space to calculate the rest here, and the graph doesn't stay on top. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the 3 moving average. Well, if you're being asked for a 3 moving average forecast, which you can go ahead and take a look at your book, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to do that. Okay, so that means for the first month right here, you don't have enough information before to calculate a 3 moving average. So therefore, for the first month, you're not gonna have anything. So we're just gonna leave it like this. For the second month as well, you don't have 3 months, and we're doing 3 months, so nothing here as well. And again, for the last one, we only have 2 before them. So unless you had a 2-month moving average, then yes, you could start right here, but you still don't have any information over here. So all this, it's nothing. We're not gonna put anything. Okay, I don't want to put in gray. Let's just leave it like that. So now we do have 3 months before. So what are we gonna be doing here? We are going for month 4. You're gonna average the 3 months before that. For month 5, you're gonna average the 3 before 5. So it's gonna be month 4, month 3, month 2. For month 6, you're gonna do 5, 4, 3, so far and so on. The ways you could do it, you could either do equals the sum of those 3 divided by 3 because it's a 3-month average. The best way to do is to average, open parentheses, and ask you for the first number, the second number. All you have to do is to select month 1, month 2, month 3, close parentheses, and it gave you the average. If you're not convinced, you can go over here and you can do 80 plus 82 plus 84, so 80 plus 82 plus 84, right? And then you can divide this by 3 to get your 82. So this formula is just averaging these three values, the three previous values. Okay, so now for month 5, we're gonna do 432. So I could go ahead and do average. Oops. Month 4, month 3, month 3 only. When you only need 3 and close. Well, another thing you could do too, if you are familiar with Excel and if you're comfortable with the formulas, since I am asking Excel to update each cell accordingly. So if I just go here and when you change to this little black cross, drag down, I'm holding the left button, drag it down, and here we go. It gave me all the values. Let's just keep it at 2 digits. If you are not sure, you can go over here and look at the formulas. So let's just let me see if I can not edit in formula. I want to stop showing me this error. There is a way to do that, but let's continue so it doesn't keep as a long video. If you're not sure, right here, it's averaging for this one for column C, row 10, is giving me the average for cells column B7, which is right here, right? B7 to B9. So B7 through B9, the three before that. And right here, same thing for, there we go again. Error checking options, don't enable. Okay, here we go. It shouldn't bother us for a while. And then now for right here, column C, cell 11 is giving the average for column B8, 9, and 10. This means includes B8 through B10. So 8, 9, and 10. See the three previous ones? So I'm sure you got the idea. So if not, please go back on the video to see how I got that. Okay, so we got, there you go. We got the forecast for the moving average. The problem is asking us compare a 3 month moving average forecast with an exponential smoothing forecast for alpha at 0.2. So let's go over here now and do the error. To do the error, we're gonna do how our forecast is different from the actual data. Is a variance of -1. Now you could do one by one, or you could do 82 minus 83, 83 minus 83, 83.33. Or again, I can just hold it here and drag it down, and it gave me all the values without having to type anything. Now we're gonna square the error because we're trying to get the MSC, this mean of the square error. Actually, I was trying to go back to the problem because I think that I did not put the complete question. Here you go, which provides the better forecast using the mean of the square errors as the measure of model accuracy. So we're gonna calculate this to get the mean of these values. Okay, this is what it means. So right here is would be the square error, and then we're trying to get the mean square error. Okay, so let's go ahead and do equals to this value. And then again, you can do times that value again. You can do -1 times -1, or you can just simply select the cell and do caret and then square. So -1 times -1 is a +1. Then let's drag it down now. Then 0 times 0, 0. Then minus 0.64 times minus 0.64 is going to be a positive 0.44, so far so on. So we got all these values. Now we need to, we could sum them up and then average them, or we can just simply average them since we're going to get the mean, the average, correct? But let's go ahead and sum them. Here we go. We got 11.11. Then to get the average, you can just do average you could do this value divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, correct? Or you can just do average and then you select them, and that's our answer. Therefore, right here, the MSC for the 3-month moving average is going to be equals to 1.23. We can go ahead and delete that. We don't need that over here. Well, if I delete it, then it's not going to copy it. So let me just put the formula here. Average, this value, it really doesn't matter if you select from the bottom up or the up down. So here we go. So now that we have completed this portion, we're going to be working on the exponential smoothing. So again, these are two separate tables. So I'm going to put the exponential smoothing over here, and I'm going to hide this one for now. So you see that these are two different things. They're using the same values over here, but these are two different models. They're just in the same spreadsheet. Okay, for the smoothing, exponential smoothing on your textbook, I really don't like the formula that they use. So I'm gonna show you differently, because if you do go over the formula right here, page 754, as though it might look, simple. If you're, especially if you're working in Excel, it might get a little confusing. So I'm just gonna show the way I do it and then see which one you prefer. And then in the end, I'm gonna show you a little trick. Okay, I just first want to make sure that you understand where all these numbers are coming from. And then once you know that, maybe you can use a little trick that is going to give you all the numbers instead of you having to do all this. Okay, so let's go with this exponential smoothing of a 0.2, 20%. Okay, so we're going it has nothing to do with our 3-month moving average. So let's forget about the skipping the first three. In this case, we are only skipping one because we don't have anything before month one. So let's just go ahead and put little dashes that tells you nothing's gonna go here. Well, for month two, you really, your forecast for the one before that is gonna be 80. So we can do equals this value right here. Okay. Okay, for month three, that's where I really need you to pay attention and bear with me. And I got F6, so F6, right? I got my forecast and I added 20% of the difference between the actual and the forecast. Okay, again, I got my forecast and I added 20% of my actual minus my forecast. So now all I have is to drag it down because Excel, it's gonna keep, since I type 0.2 instead of pointing to a cell, it's not gonna update that value. It's just updating the cells. Now it's changed to 7, 8, so it's just using the others. So here we go. We got the values right here. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the error between my forecast and my actual value. And again, I'm gonna drag it down. And lastly, I'm gonna do my error and I'm gonna square it and I'm gonna drag it down. Okay, now that I have this value, so what? Well, now you could go ahead and sum them, but I'm really not asking you for the sum. What I'm asking you is to give me the MSC, which is there. Actually, if you put it back now, the other columns that I was hiding, so you wouldn't get confused. There it is. So we have the MSC for the 3-month is 1.23. Let's see now how is the mean of the square error right here of the exponential smoothing. Again, these are two different forecast models, okay? So to do the mean or the average, you're gonna go over here, you're gonna do equals average, and then you're gonna average the cells right here, only the ones with the numbers, and enter, and then you have a 3.56. So now I ask you, which one of these two um, use MSC as the measure, which provides the better forecast using the mean of the square error as the measure of model accuracy? That would definitely be the 3-month moving average since it's closer to zero. Okay, and that's your answer. Right here, where's the forecast for the next month? Really, all you have to do is go on the last one right here and continue the formula, and over here and continue the formula. So you would have a 83.33 for the 3-month moving, and you would have a 83.07 for the exponential smoothing. Um, and then here is the little trick that I'm gonna show you now that once you look at all these numbers and you understand why I haven't put anything here, or this, remember these are two different forecast models. I have deleted that column. So now that you have all these values, I'm gonna literally go over here and I'm gonna delete. Actually, no, you know what? So you can compare it. Let me go over here and just hide this too. What I'm gonna show you right now can give you the values for the forecast, but it's not gonna give you the whole MSC and all that. So let me hide this right here, and let me hide this one right here. This part right here, if you're not familiar with Excel, if you're not comfortable with Excel, I advise you to just skip it. Okay. What you can do for the students who have taken MSC 3370, I told you to go ahead and install the data analysis, which all you have to do, you go in File, you go in Options, you go in Add-ins, and then on the Excel add-ins, you're gonna have here the analysis two pack for Excel, and then you're gonna click on it, which I already have it, so that's why it's not here. And you're gonna do go, don't do OK, only do go. And then once you click on that, you're gonna have an additional uh, option right here. So now that we have the data analysis, if you click on it and if you go through, you're gonna notice right here moving average and exponential smoothing. So let's start with the moving average. If I would use this just to predict these values right here, how would I do it? I would do OK on the moving average. What is my input range? My input range is only these numbers right here. Okay. I have not add the label cell right here, so no labels in the first row. My interval, it is for a 3-month moving average. My output range means where do I want this information to go. It even gives you a chart output if you wanted the actual graph to see how it's different from the one you did on the first on letter A. So let's go ahead and put it over here. It's fine. And then you just click um, OK. Now let's just change right here the amount of digits to see if you notice. Oh, the NA was included, so it doesn't understand that. Okay, really, do you notice how it's exactly the same? So if you're taking your midterm, for example, and you want to make sure you got these numbers right, and let me tell you this, if you, for example, in your midterm, you tell me, oh, I use the data analysis, that's why you don't see my calculations. Actually, if you look over here, it gives me the formulas that you use, which is the same formulas that I used before. So even if you tell me that you did use the data analysis, so there's no calculations, you should have calculations regardless. Okay. So now let's show for the exponential smoothie. It's not giving you the MSC. It's not giving you uh, the MAE or the MAP. It's just giving you the forecast. So now let's try for the other one. Data for data analysis. Let's try the exponential smoothing right here. Okay. And then we're going to do the input, which is over here is the same numbers. And then we're gonna do, well, the damping factor is always gonna be 100% minus your damping factor. So 100 minus zero point 0.2 is gonna be zero point 0.8. I have not added the labels. In my output, I want it to be over here, sure. And I do it okay. Okay, does that right here, does that look familiar? See, it gives you the same thing. Again, is only um, giving you the forecast. It's not giving you the whole answer. I'm changing the digits so you can see it's exactly the same thing. Okay. And again, on your midterm, you tell me, well, I use the data analysis right here. It tells you what it did. The 20% times B6, column B, cell 6, times right here the actual data plus 1 minus the alpha, which is 80%, times L5, which one is L5, which is the one before. And then the next one is just updating. See how it just updates the cells? Right here is doing 20% times the actual number plus 1 minus my alpha, the damper right here. Same thing you had here. If you go on the exponential smoothing, the damping factor. So it's gonna be 1 minus zero point 0.2 times L6, which is the one before. So I did a different formula. You can do what you find appropriate. And then we have answered that one as well. We did for the, I believe it was 83.33 and 83.07, if I'm not mistaken. And then we'll be done with problem 11. Please go over the formulas. On your midterm, you are going to see these problems, not exactly these problems, very similar. Keep an eye. Am I asking for a 2 month? Am I asking for a 3? Am I asking for a 4? It's gonna change according to what I'm asking you. On for the exponential smoothing, am I asking for a point 0.2? Am I asking for a point 0.35? Am I asking for a point 0.4? Therefore, their alpha value and your damping factor value will change because you're always going to be for the damping factor 1 minus the alpha. But in this case right here, I just did the difference of them, which should work just fine. Okay, and that would be all for this week. Chapter 15, problems 1, 2, 3, and 11b. Please read chapter 1, chapter 15, read all the information on Markov process. I have included some discussion. Don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions. Um, your week 2 is going to be available on Sunday, 5 p.m. Central Time, but right now you have to focus in uh, submitting your homework, in posting your discussions, being the first reply is due by Wednesdays. And I have also told you to choose the subject for your project, for your final paper, which I'm going to be looking for the answers at least. Well, of course, I expect for you to do more than just that, but you must address the questions at the end of the case. Okay? And let me know if there are any questions. I hope this helps a little bit.